Loma Lookboonmee is looking for her third win in a row in the UFC. She's going to be fighting Bruna Brazil, a Contender Series alum. And for Loma Lookboonmee, she has had a fairly slow burn, even though she's got like an 8-3 record right now. She's been fighting in the UFC for a while, finally putting together a win streak. And I got to think that the UFC really wants to get behind Loma Lookboonmee. And the reason I say that is because Thailand seems like it would be the perfect place for the UFC to drop down and grow a fan base. Thailand, as we've seen with one championship, one has relocated kind of their headquarters to Thailand, at least their fight operations headquarters to Thailand over the last year, holding events every single week. And Thailand is one of those places that already has a built-in fight culture. They've got an arena in the Impact Arena, as well as all the different Muay Thai stadiums. But if the UFC went to Thailand, most likely they would be going to Bangkok's Impact Arena. And I feel like UFC really would love to get more Thai athletes on the roster. We saw last year they had Peter Daniso and Top Noi on Road to UFC. Ultimately, didn't work out for either of those guys, but at least had some decent performances, especially Peter Daniso was able to get a win in the opening round. So could we see Peter Daniso actually in the tournament in season 3? I would love to see it. Maybe some more non-tournament fights for him. Either way, would love to see more ties in Road to UFC. But for Loma Lookboonmee, I feel like the UFC is really kind of spearheading their efforts in Thailand. Let me show you my screen real quick, and I'll show you another reason why I kind of feel that way. It's because UFC has, interestingly enough, opened an Instagram account for UFC Thailand. Only 2.2K followers right now, but you see right there on the main page, you've got Loma Lookboonmee right there, another post with Loma. You scroll down, here's another post with Loma, another one with Loma. Very interesting. The UFC doesn't just go around creating Instagram accounts for every single country that they want to have a market. Usually they're broader regions. They've got one for Asia. They've got one in, I believe, Korea. They've got a Eurasia account. They've got a new UFC India account. So, and they also have an Indonesia account. So you kind of look at these as like main places that the UFC, I think, really wants to grow. And they're making, obviously Loma is their only Thai athlete right now. So, and giving her Bruna Brazil, this creates the opportunity for a 3-fight win streak. And eventually I feel like Loma is really becoming a very complete MMA fighter. We've seen her be able to finish some fights by submission recently. Of course, her Muay Thai has always been there. Her clinch work, second to none. And yeah, I think at 28 years old, now is the time for Loma to have her breakout year. I think if she beats Bruna Brazil, probably she'll get a ranked opponent next and potentially like start to enter really the years of her prime. So that's the fight that I'm like really looking at this weekend with a lot of interest.